neighborhood. So is that something like you're interested in, or are you not interested in low income people being able to live in your part of Santa Monica?
So, Rod, that's a really good question, and I would love to answer that. One of my sons lives in Inglewood. He's white. He doesn't have an issue living in a community of color. But there are people in the city who say we have to preserve trees on private property so that if you wanted to build an ADU, you can't take out that tree to make the space for it. So I think that there's sort of this war going on that 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 fits into what you're describing, and I think making green spaces is important for all of the neighborhoods. And it doesn't necessarily mean that by destroying it in one neighborhood, it's going to benefit everybody, because then we'll all end up with concrete.
Yeah, I think the reality of it is, though, is that there are already communities in LA that have pretty much nothing but concrete. And a part of that is because all of the building of homes has to take place in those neighborhoods. My version of America is not where I just think about getting my own. So I have to disagree with you about me trying to figure out how I can build my own wealth, especially if that's going to come at the hands of destroying the communities of people who either
Well,
look
Rod,
like me or
good
don't.
good luck with that in this culture. In this
Yes.
culture.
That mentality, everyone that I've met, low income, high income, works hard. The difference is that higher income people, since you're activists, you probably are aware of the handouts that white people got to get the communities that we now have.
All right.
Santa Monica didn't
You know what?
naturally.
I think I'm really gonna leave this meeting, because to me, you keep going back to the race card, and it's not the answer. It is not the answer. Everything isn't about race. So Oscar De La Torre is a friend of mine. He's a radical Latino. I know what you're talking about, but I think you're living in some sort of weird philosophy that does not deal with reality. I care about you guys, but this is really weird, like Soviet like mindset, where all you guys say is the same diatribe and you don't think. Take a look at economics, read Michael Storper.
Right. Your city is a city that was created because people who look like you didn't want to live around people who look like me, and so the reality of it is with
Rod, I'm
the
going to say, Rod, do you actually know our history? We had a very large Black community here until someone put
yes,
the freeway in and wiped them out. And I didn't do
yes,
that. I didn't do that. And the white
yes,
people didn't do it. The developers and the city government did it. It wasn't
yes, and
white.
you're absolutely correct. The issue then becomes, though, who moved into those homes that were built, and why the highways were built. The people were displaced. The single family homes continued to stay, and at the same time, our government again did not allow for folks of color to buy those homes. And so this isn't about what you did. This is more so, like you said, about what the government did and what we can do as a community to rectify that.
Sure.
Because,
I'm
like,
surprised by some of the language that you've been using. Like in particular, you describe renters as being like disconnected gypsies, and you said
I
that
don't
what
know,
we're
Leonora, I
advocating
don't know. You
for
know what? I don't
is
really know what you're talking about. You have a right to some hold on something in life. That you want everyone to be a gypsy and disconnected from their community. Everyone to be a gypsy. And I just don't like seeing foreign investors come in and
what's
manipulate. And
what's wrong with foreign people.
oh, Leonora, don't be a child, okay? It's not like I don't need to. You want me to join your club? It's not whether I support it. It's what's happening. It's what's happening.
But
I'm
we just
talking
can't
about what's
reconcile
happening,
this.
not about some idea of whether it's good or bad or black or white. It's happening
But
right now.
are you supporting it, or are you opposing it, or are you just like neutral about it?
Leonora, do you not have a brain? I just told you. I'm not in the council. I'm not in the government. I'm an individual living in the community, and I'm telling you that I see what's going on, and it's already happening.
most of the low income people in LA are folks of color. We know that based on how our society works, majority of those people may not necessarily
You
achieve
know,
like high.
I have to interrupt you, Rod. I think it's really a mistake, and I'm actually getting so bored with the representation of this issue as strictly racial. I try to talk about economics, and we continually go back to this issue of racial divide.
Well, they're
and I
one
think
in the same.
it's unfortunate. It stops the conversation because, it's everywhere, and everyone's pandering to the racial divide.
Everybody. All right.
Thank you. Look forward to seeing you on the Housing Commission when you guys are back in action.
Thanks. Bye.